So it looks like yesterday's lack of new Warbond CCUs was not an intern error, but in fact the way it was supposed to be. Unfortunately. For us.
What the hell?
But it does look like they at least threw us a bone today, because we start off today with the Warbond CCU for the Spartan. The Spartans had one before, maybe two. Let's go check here. It's had two back in 2021 and 2022, and then now this year. So it's had three so far, so it's okay. It's okay. It skipped quite a while, right? Because this was January of 2022, but it's back. So this is a good one. And let's see what our options are here. It looks like the 325A is the best option at $70. Anything else you're leaving more on the table. And the Sulin has never had a Warbond CCU, although it has had Warbond for the outright ship. It hasn't had a Warbond CCU, so 325 is what I'm going to recommend here. And you can see the 325A has had two before, both in Invictus of 2022. It's been a while, though. Who knows if this will come back, but at least you have the option if you've already got it in your hangar. Next up on our list is not a sub-$100 ship, but it's right at the $100 mark, and with this $5 discount, it goes below it. The Hawk. Couple choices here, but it looks like the only great one is the Gladius. Gladius has had a couple Warbonds in the past. You can see here. The Hawk has had a few, just a couple, just two. One earlier this year in February, and now this one. So not super often, relatively rare, but it is a ship that's in the $100 and below mark, right? So that's kind of what we're going to be expecting now. The lower end ones are clearly not going to be as prevalent as they have been in the past, and it's been that way for a couple years now. So anytime we get them, if they fit your chain, you want to snatch them up. The Gladius has had a couple, so that's why it makes the best choice. So the Hull A has had one as well back in 2022 for a Warbond CCU. I'm pretty sure I would go with the Gladius. The other choice here, if you saw the Storm, it has not had a Warbond CCU, so I would not pick that one. I think it had a decent Warbond standalone when it came out, but it hasn't had a Warbond CCU. Another surprise today is this 600i Explorer. Check this out. It is a pretty decent discount. That's $30 off. Okay, let's check this one out. So the 600i does come up often enough. It's had two of them, well, two now this year. One of them this time last year, and then a couple before that. So it's pretty often in the CCU game. It does make a decent link, mainly because it shows up so often. As far as linking to it, the Prowler makes a good choice too. The Prowler comes up quite often. As you can see, the Prowler comes up quite often in the game as well, so that makes a really good link. the Reclaimer is $40 less, so that's not, I mean, it comes up often enough now, but I wouldn't recommend going $45 on this one. $5 for a $30 discount, even though it's at the high end, well, maybe especially because it's at the high end, that's a decent discount right there. It may mess up something if you've got Prowler to Ironclad, I suppose, but if you're going to the 600i or you're skipping over the Ironclad in a much higher priced ship chain, then this is going to be the better one for you to grab. Another great surprise today is the Perseus. This is quite the discount as well, $60. For, what do we have for options? The Carrack for 15. 15 to 60, that's a pretty good ratio. Even at the high dollar mark, that's pretty good. Is that really the best? That is the best. Carrack is, that's quite good, actually. If you're trying to get to the Perseus, from the Carrack, that's great, because this is going to increase in price. This is one of the better ones to get. If you're going to the Perseus, this is a hell of a discount. Even beyond the Perseus, going from the Carrack to the Perseus for $15, this is a pretty killer discount here. I would definitely recommend this to go into your chain if you're going for the Perseus or anything else above it. So although yesterday put quite the downer on most of us playing the CCU game, overall, the last 5 days or so have been pretty good when you really look at the CCUs we got. Sure, some of them didn't fit perfect into existing chains, but you can basically get from the Prospector to a Starlancer Max for relatively little money. It's a third of the total price there. So overall, that big section of a chain is really good, and you got to think about it from newcomers as well. Now, I can't possibly not discuss the fact that we've only had one sub $100 Warbond this entire IAE, and that really does need to be addressed for the CCU game to actually continue. I don't know right now how newcomers to the game can really get into the game without spending $100. Now, there's definitely options, but realistically, if you're a newcomer today, you're going to be looking at something like the CSV all the way to a Hawk as the first link in your chain, right? Let's say you bought the CSV, that's like a $5 discount. So you're at 40 plus 50, you're at $90 in just to get to the Hawk. So that makes it really difficult when you can't really fill that gap and you can't get any discounts, even if you've been playing for like a year, right? Like maybe you bought the Pulse or maybe you got a referral reward. But I mean, even if you have to jump to a referral reward all the way to something like the Hawk, that's a pretty tough sell. It kind of reduces the need for any of those referral rewards as well, right? The decision that SIG has made to not offer these sub $100 Warbonds really has some knock-on effects to people pursuing the CCU game, and especially recommending it to folks that are just picking up the game now, right? Like, look, some of us have been longtime backers since forever. Some of you started following with the Kickstarter. I think I watched it at the Kickstarter, but I didn't buy in until like 2019 or something. I mean, yeah, I was getting CCUs before that because at least I saw some potential there, and I saw how the ship prices could definitely start increasing. So that's why I started getting interested in this game before I even bought into the actual game package itself. But for people that are starting now, it's a much more difficult road. I mean, forget the $0 cross chassis CCUs that they offered for free, right? Those definitely fill some massive gaps for some of us. But really, from getting to the Prospector, that in and of itself is quite a difficult task if you're actually trying to reduce spend or get some sort of actual discount. Look, this is a company that's intended to make profit, right? I'll never be an anti-capitalist, so don't think that I'm saying anything like that. But at the same time, if they have built this system out in a way that allows people to upgrade their ships in a way that has had discounts in the past, I get it that I understand that we're not always going to have the exact same discounts or the exact same chains going from ship to ship, but they really have to allow us to build the entire chain. Even if there's not $5 discounts along each $10 increment, totally get that. But we definitely need some more variety, especially with the sheer quantity of ships just under the Prospector at 155. There's an enormous amount of ships, probably more than half. Somebody can certainly go count them if you'd like to. Let me know in the comments below. But the reality is we definitely need more of those low-end Warbonds, even if we're talking $5 for $5 discount. Like, I get it. That's fine. We just need to make those chains viable again. So anyway, I'm leaving you with that, and I hope that from now until the end of the year, everyone has a great finish to 2024, and hopefully we do get some more low-end CCU Warbonds from here until then. Anyhow, guys, that's it for me today. That's it for IAE. Catch you next time. Zi-Tek out.